Anytime you want to go and prepare for a canoeing trip, you want to make sure that the weather's going to be suitable for that. There's a few different apps you can use to try and work out what the weather's going to be like in the future or on the day. The one I like to use is Windy. Windy's quite a cool one for me. I paraglide and it gives me pretty good accurate wind forecasts. So I'm going to click on Windy. Okay, this opens up the general front screen. I've paid for a membership for the premium version. I recommend you don't bother with that. I just like the hourly intervals with the premium. This one here will give you 3 hourly information. That's more than enough for what you guys need. So things we need to do on the right hand side down here, we've got things to look up. So if I want to look up this little cloud with lightning, that'll tell me options of either a satellite view or the weather radar, which I'm on now, and then the satellite view, which is this one. Satellite will just give you what it looks like from sky, and here we can see clouds. Alright, so I'm just going to zoom into where we are. Let's have a look at Yamba for the day. Let's say we want to take a school group out in the mouth of Yamba. What is it doing? So far there's light cloud around the area. Is there any rain? I'm just going to go into the weather radar. And these little clumps of greens and blues is the intensity of the rain that's around the area. So Yamba, I can tell, has no real rain coming. I can also come down to this little play arrow. I want to do different speeds: turtle, rabbit, and I don't know, horse, who knows. So that's the fast one. I'm then going to come around and hit play, and then it'll show me the movement of the clouds and their general direction. So I can then predict that, looking at Yamba, the movement's sort of heading this way, that way. So is there anything out of here somewhere coming in? So no, Yamba's looking pretty clear for rain today. However, there is a bit of cloud cover coming in, which is there, you can see. Okay, we know it's sort of moving this way. But again, different layers of the cloud will be moving at different directions. They're not all moving at the same direction at different layers. Another thing I can request is touching on this little hamburger menu. That opens up everything. From here I can ask for certain things. I can ask for pressure isobars, isolines. Okay, and there you have the different lines that, you know, the meteorologists work from. But I can sort of tell from these lines that the general movement, because these highs rotate this way, they rotate this way around those lines. So I can tell at Lismore we're going to be getting today southeasterlies, easterlies coming across there. Okay, down in Bega they're going to be getting northerlies coming down here. We're using those lines, the winds will follow them. Okay, so let's go into, have a look at my Yamba. I'm going to get rid of, I'm just going to have the radar, it's a bit easier to see. Okay, I'm going to come in and get the hamburger there. I'm going to have a look at wind. As the paraglider, I want to know what the winds are doing. I've clicked on wind. So these are the wind directions. As we said before, the winds are moving in those directions, which was consistent with those isobar lines. So we are getting easterlies, southeasterlies. And what other things I can do here is what's happening at the ground level. For you as canoeists, you'd really want to know what's going on at the ground. So that's where this surface icon here is, you can set whatever height you want to know. So on the surface at Yamba, if I just touch here, if I touch here, yeah, there you go. It'll give me a little, I don't know, wind indicator. So I can see that at Yamba, it is, oh, why is it doing that? That's just me. We've got a southeasterly at 12 knots right now. If I come down to this little drag box here and I drag it to different times, so at the moment it's at 4 o'clock today, it's going to be southeasterly at 11 knots. At 9 o'clock at night, okay, 9 o'clock tonight, it's going to be easterly at 9 knots. Tuesday, Friday at 10 o'clock, it's going to be a really slow southerly. So that might be a perfect day to go canoeing. All right, that's how we use that. We can project all the way forward. Okay, Tuesday the 2nd, it's going to be a westerly wind. Other things we can do is I can just touch on a spot, touch the little drop down box here. So in Yamba, it's now telling me at that spot here, Yamba, this is the weather forecast at an hourly interval. So I can then move all this around and I can tell on Friday at 9 o'clock, you're going to have sunny with the light cloud, 20 degrees Celsius. Wind is going to be at 5 knots. Sorry, I moved that. Nine o'clock, so 5 knot winds, gusting to 10 knots, coming from the southwest. I can tell from that arrow there, it's coming from the southwest and heading this way. Okay, that's for Friday the 28th at 9 o'clock. So really handy to have these little forecasts as to what's going on. That's about it. Hopefully you enjoyed Windy. Again, you can use whatever app you like.